Hi there, and we're back with another quick little project. I have now gone through one of the small, I have a 3 size small bookshelf, and I've gone through one side of the bookshelf and pulled out all the papers and kind of sorted through those. So I'm kind of happy with where I am with that one. I'm now into the second section, and and I've gotten rid of some papers, and now I'm working on, as I come across something, I try and figure out how I can use it, and if I can't use it, I'm going to get rid of it. So here are some of the little books that I've come across that I saved and I thought would be really cute to use for something. This was a book that I got. It's Shakespeare, and I believe it's in, I'm going to get this wrong probably, oops, I'm going to say Japanese. It did have a little page on the back that actually told you what the book was about. And I know they read the books from the back to the front, so let me just see if I can find it. But yes, there it is. The Complete Works of Shakespeare, Korean. Translated in Korean from the New Shakespeare. So that is this little book. And I thought it was kind of neat because you don't want to have book pages from a book that you don't know what the words are if it's in another language. I mean, it could be about farming or something like that, but this is Shakespeare, so I was okay with that because everybody loves Shakespeare. So I was trying to think of things to do with these pages, and I think these would make lovely background in collages or for tags. So I have that one, and then I also have this shorthand booklet that I found at a dollar store, a thrift store for $1. And the pages are, I don't know if you can see the difference in the color of the pages. This one is lovely brown and this one's more of a creamy color. So what I've done is, while I was going through my shelf, I found some of these vellum pages that I had cut to size to put inside some of my journals. And there's only a couple here, but I thought, how can I use these pages up, because they've already got the fold there, so you can't unfold them because vellum marks very easily. So what I thought I would do is try something like this, where I put one of these shorthand book pages inside the vellum, like that, and then trim the pages, and then maybe cut these into tags. So what I've done is, and I like this because the vellum would give this paper some structure. The vellum is nice and heavy and crisp, whereas this isn't too bad. It's not really, really thin, so it's got some body to it. But I thought if I put the two together, then it would give some substance to the tags that I make. So all I did was cut them into strips and cut the corners. So here's the fold. Here's the folded edge like that. So I've cut 2 strips, and there is the shorthand book inside the tag, inside the vellum on the fold. And then I thought I would just maybe collage them a bit by putting, I've got these little fussy cut flowers, but see how it's just kind of faded the image a little bit? So I thought if I could do that, so I've done a couple of them. They're not glued or anything yet, but I just thought that would give it a nice look. It's got the background, the symbols in the background. It's got the vellum used up because I've already cut it to that size. It's got the fussy cut in there. I thought maybe I could stamp something on here or add some more paper. And then what I'm going to do is just sew around the edges with my sewing machine and then punch a hole, and that will become a tag. And maybe even on the back, I could maybe with one of my stamps stamp some lines there as well. So you could follow the lines when you're writing. The lines will be on the inside, not on the vellum. So that you could just follow that line as you're writing, or you can write them this way and follow the lines that are already on that shorthand. There's some lines there already. So I just thought that they were really cute. I love the paper. I love the color of the paper. I love how it's aged. You could also just glue this right onto the back of a tag, but I wanted to be able to write. I like to be able to write on my tags, and with this vellum, you can write right on the vellum. You've got the whole writing surface. You don't have to worry about writing around the flower or whatever. So that's kind of what I found with this book page, and it does look fairly nice with the Korean Shakespeare page in there as well. So there's another one. I could trim this down and actually cut this down the center, and that could be your tag as well. So you'd have that writing in your background as well. So I'm going to do a couple of these. I'm just going to use up what I have here and make some tags with those. So that was one little project I came across. And I say, if I don't use the pages of the books or whatever, I'm going to recycle them. I'm just not going to keep things that I don't need. I also came across this botanical book, and again, it's yellow with age, and I thought some of the pictures are quite large, so it would be hard to fussy cut them. They would be really, really large to put on something, but these will make great pockets. If you fold them in half, and you put them in a book that way, you could actually fold, and I'm just going to get my scoreboard. And I'm going to score really quickly along one bottom edge so that when I glue these together to make the pocket, it has a little bit of, I'm going to do it this way here. It has a little bit of an opening. So I'm just going to do like a 1/2 inch. And be very careful. These are older pages, so your stylus will go right through the book page because they're fairly old book pages. So now when I fold this in half, and I'm not in camera, am I? So I've just scored a 1/2 inch and folded it over, and then I push that up against the edge like that. So now when I go to put this in, I will sew it into a signature like that, opened up in the middle, and then I can glue that little fold like that. So it gives your pocket a little bit of opening, whereas if you just glue these two pages together without putting this little flap, it makes your pocket thinner. So you can only have enough room to put a few things in. This way I can get a nice big tag in there, a couple things in there. And you can make it a 1/2 page, you can make it a full page, however you like it. But I thought these would be nice if you're going to put them inside of a book and make them into an actual pocket. Because then they're nice and colored in, and you can use it. You can even do like a little flip tag. This is some handmade paper that someone gave me at one of our swaps. She found a photo album. Somebody had taken this handmade paper, it's nice and thick, and put photo corners on the page and put photos in it. And when she got it, it was empty. And she gave us each a sheet or two to take home. And I've just pulled the photo corners off. They were just handmade paper as well. And they're nice and thick. Just love it. They're nice big pieces. So again, that was 2 pages I just cut into tags. But you could also do a flip up or something like that. So you could tape a tag onto here or a card or something and flip it up, and you'd have a writing space somewhere to write on that pocket as well. Or you could do it on the side and have a little pocket there. So you can use these book pages. Again, I just love how aged they are and the coloring of them, but because the pictures are quite large, they're really hard to fussy cut, and I don't want to do that. So I want to use these pages as something else. And I don't want to just put them in the book and have one of my journals and have this, because you can't write on this side unless you gesso it and mix media. But I thought these would make lovely pockets inside of a journal, maybe in the center, so you have that pop of color right in the middle of your journal. So that is another couple of pages that I found that I want to recycle, so I wasn't going to throw those away. And then this was the handmade paper that my friend had given me. I believe it was Victoria at one of our swaps, but they're nice and thick. I'm really looking forward to collaging these. So that was another little scrap that I found and came across and didn't want to throw away. I did make some tags, out of some of the scrap file folders that I had in my scrap bin. I made all different kinds of size tags, manila tags, and you can make them into these kind of tags, and these ones are store-bought. All you have to do is get a reinforcement hole or punch a 1/2 inch circle, and then use your paper punch to punch the middle once you glue it on there. So you would just glue 2 1/2 inch circles onto your piece and then get a paper punch and punch the hole. But then you would just add these really dark colored reinforcement holes to make them look like real manila tags. But these are just scraps from file folders that I had in my scrap bin. I wanted to make up a couple of these tags for a project that I'm working on. So I had those, and that was another thing that I went through my bin and made. And then the other project I am working on right now, and I haven't shown it yet, but I am going to give you a brief, quick show of this. I have a stack. This was a book of Hummingbird. It was a Hummingbird book, and this is the size of the actual book it was. It was huge. They are really, really large book pages. I'm just looking for my ruler to tell you the size here. They are 14.5 by 9 3/4. So it was a very large book. And both sides of the pages are hummingbirds. And this is somebody from, and I forget the year, 1900s. This fellow drew all these hummingbirds. So you can actually find these on public domain, these bird pictures. And I forget, oh, here it is. Gould, Jay Gould was the illustrator. But I mean, literally, I have a gazillion of these hummingbird pictures. So I was trying to find something to do with those, and I came across someone. I was flipping through my Instagram account, and it was just one of those quick little videos that pops up on somebody's post. And they had just taken a black piece of cardstock and made a big envelope and made it into a little booklet. So I thought, why not take the hummingbird page? So there's my envelope of the hummingbird page. And I just made this on my envelope punch board. I decided on the size I wanted inside. And then I've just taken some sketchbooking paper. Actually, I think this is my parchment or my resume paper that I found. It's just got 5 sheets in there. So there's 20 pages. And what I'm going to do is sew the signature to this fold right here. So the signatures will be sewn in. And then you just have to close up the book like that. I'm going to include a label so that if you want to write in the book and then send it to someone, or you just want to write in the book, maybe it's just a little journal that you want to keep for a week, and you could do a whole collection of them. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. You could label this, and then I was just going to make a little belly band out of a piece of the paper that I cut off the top. Like that. So you could seal it up, put your label on it, and you could just put whatever that you've written in the book, and that would be a little booklet, a creative booklet that you keep for yourself. It could be a project that you're working on. It could be a course that you're taking and you want to take notes. But I just thought this was a really cute idea to use up some of those larger book pages, because you do need a fairly large piece of paper to make a bigger envelope. And then once I sew these in, you'll just have your little booklet here. And you can maybe even put a cover on this so you don't open it up right to the book page. But you only want that, I think 5 pages, the 5 sheets of paper that I've put in here to give you 20 pages is more than enough. You just want it to be a little tiny notebook. And again, I'm going to sew it in that along here on that fold, so that you'll just be able to fold it up and put your little band on it. And that will be glued, so you could just slide it on and off, and then you can label your book. So that is what's going to be in my little creative hummingbird books. And I'm going to make as many as I can out of those book pages. I will put them on my Etsy shop. I'm just going to make a whole bunch of them, and then I think I'm going to turn my Etsy shop off for all of February. What's happening right now is I'm in Ontario, Canada, and one of our main distribution centers for our mail has had a really bad COVID outbreak, and our postal system is just a mess. I am still waiting for something that I ordered in beginning, my January Creative Studio box hasn't arrived, and it's February 9th. So mail is very, very slow getting out of Canada because of this problem that we're having in some of our plants and our distribution centers. So I am going to turn off my Etsy shop for February, and I'm going to open it in March, and I will have more things in my Etsy shop. I'm just going to build some stock and then reopen in March. So that is one of the things that I will have. If you're interested in the book before that, you can go on my Instagram account. I will have pictures of it there. And if you go in my bio and hit the little link in my bio, it will have a link to my email and you can email me. But I'm going to be working on those as well. So I've got a couple just made up. I've made a couple of the envelopes. So that's the outside of another one. And I've just kept little strips of paper with them. So there's another little hummingbird. And they've got hummingbirds on the inside as well. But I'm just trying to make sure that the hummingbirds are in the center. Is that guy supposed to be that way? No, he was hanging upside down. That was one that I had to make sure I put the right way. These ones go this way. That way. This one was very pretty with the pink flower. Some of the pictures are just stunning. So I'm trying to pick the best picture from the book page, whether it's whatever side it is. There's another one. So I've just started on those. That was a little project I was working on in between going through my scraps. But I really promised my husband and myself that I would go through all of my shelves and sort through this paper and make sure I put the paper that I'm using for my journals, set it aside, and then go through all these extra papers that I have, because I really need to purge some of these papers and stuff that I've made. So that is the project that I'm working on. During my 100-day project, I'm trying to create things as I go. So I'm making tags, I'm making pockets, I'm making little booklets, stamping lots of little labels as I come across really unique papers, that kind of thing. I'm just kind of using up instead of throwing away, and if I can't use it, it's just going right in the recycle bin. So that is the projects I've worked on today. Stay tuned and we'll see what we're working on tomorrow. See you soon.